Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a couple model kits, and of course I'm here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the top tier 2 blue emote into chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes if you feel like being a lurker. You don't want to say anything? Well, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. Let's see. Hi. It's Thursday. I am a little discombobulated. It's very warm in this room. My apologies. I will be sweating throughout the course of the next 2 hours as I conclude the Gundam 00 Diver arc and then start the EMS-10 Zudah. Both high grades. One from like 2 years ago, but with parts from many years ago. One kit from 2006. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome. Happy to have you here. I believe that's 2006. I want to double check here. Yes, this is a 2006 model kit. Zudah. There's the Zudah. We're working on that next. A kit from a show that originally was only airing in a museum. And by museum, the Bandai Museum. Lord Crashington is on a 225 stream streak. That's a lot of streams. Welcome, Lord Crashington. Happy to have you here. But also, it did end up on Igloo. Also ended up on DVD. And also, Wild. We'll talk. I guess when we start working on the kit, we'll talk more about it. But that whole thing was fucking wild. Because they got behind schedule on it, and so they didn't have all 3 episodes airing at once. Completely wild. But I've never seen it. I have never seen MS Igloo, The Hidden 1 Year War. But we have a kit from that we're going to work on. It's wild that it got a model kit, honestly. I hope you're doing well out there. I hope you look forward to an evening of model kit building and conversation. That's what we do here, as always. Drop down to 25 subscribers. That's okay. The goal is to get to 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when we hit 40. We're on our way. 15. If you want to become a subscriber, you can do that. You want to gift a sub, you can do that. Hitting the main button here. Here is the Gundam 00 Diver arc. I have completed one of the swords here. We've got a bunch of stuff we can do with this. Oh, I did find, you may remember from our previous stream on Monday that I was missing one of these pieces from the backpack. I found it. It was on the floor, and it was very easy to find once I started looking. I just had to move where my shelves were, and it was right there. And then I got the sword here, the sword that is also a gun, if you want it to be a gun. Could be a gun sword, or it can be a sword. Or I can have the sword like that, if you want to hold it like that. There it is. There's the sword. We got one. We got to build the other sword. We got the one half here. We got to build the other half, which we will do right now. A lot of effects parts for this kit, which is fantastic. We love that. Love that very much. So we'll get that. Our last sticker that we need to apply is right here, which we'll need to apply to A. We can get A out here. We're going to need mostly A, and then some of the other ones here. Oops. Come on. Come on. We got it. We're doing it. We're making it happen. I mowed the lawn today, and so I'm often out of sorts when that happens because my allergies are no joke. Oops. These sprues, well, yeah, they were stuck together. But yeah, my allergies are unfortunately terrible and awful, and I hate them. I hate that I have them. I hate that I constantly am dealing with them. But that is my reality. So when I mow the lawn, I often go out of my way to just try to survive it. A lot of that being, let's see, here it is. Take an allergy pill, wear a mask, and that unfortunately is not enough, and then I just still feel bad for the rest of the day and a little out of sorts. So my apologies. Also, as I said right at the top of the stream, it's warm in here, and I'm going to be sweating. And that's just the reality that I find myself in. All right, I need A19 is this one here. there. I hope you're all doing, as well as you can here on a Thursday. There is a new pope, and that new pope is from Chicago, Illinois, USA, and that is a weird thing. There have been plenty of jokes about this pope is Chicago style, and of course, like, yes, Eric Pope, indeed. I mentioned that I'm very happy that Eric is currently at PAX. Eric Pope currently working PAX East, and therefore the fact that he's not doing his day job and unable to reply to people because his mentions are swamped with people making jokes. And also, when you try to @Pope, his name comes up a lot for people. So there are a lot of people who are just like @Mr. Pope who don't want to talk to Eric. They want to talk about the Pope, which is funny. It's never not funny. It's not great for him, but it's very funny for me. In the same way that my friend for many years, I think he eventually got rid of it. A friend of mine, Morgan Phillips, got @Morgan. He was an early adopter, and he got @Morgan. And people hated that because they wanted that there are Morgans who are differently famous than him. And so they were always mad that it wasn't the Morgan they wanted to talk to. How dare he have that name? But that's just what happened. That doesn't look right. How did I mess this up? Sticker is just, I put this sticker on wrong. That's how I messed it up. I messed it up by doing it wrong. It's a clever decision on my part. Anyway, yeah, there's a new pope. Of course, a lot of jokes about it are pizza related, or they are, I've seen plenty of Blues Brothers references, on a mission from God, yada, yada, yada. Not enough references to the fact that there's a non-zero chance that 69-year-old man at one point or another took a class at Improv Olympic or saw a show at Second City. It's a non-zero chance. Is it likely that a man who is 69 years old, who lived for many, many years in Chicago, took an improv class? It's not 0%, it's not impossible. Is it likely? No. But like I said, it's a thing that could have happened. And it's funny to think about that. Because improv in Chicago is just a thing that is still very popular. And still plenty of people go to see those shows. So it is within the realm of possibility that the Pope that the current Pope has been to Improv Olympic, taking a class just to see what's going on, taking an improv for fun class, something like that. And to me, that's way funnier than is he a Cubs fan or a Sox fan? It's like, okay. I believe he's a White Sox fan. Oh, I am missing a piece here from a thing that I already said I didn't need. Hold on, I'm going to this screen while I go get a thing. I'll be right back. Okay, and here. Nope, not that. I see where it is. I have to get a sprue that fell. And so I'm getting that sprue that fell, and I am doing it in a way that will not knock over a bunch of stuff that I do not want to get knocked over. Let's see how that goes. All right, getting the thing that I need. Got the thing that I need. Headphone cable. Got unattached here, so I'll put that back. I have an extender on my headphone cable because it's not long enough, so I gotta have an extension. And then I stepped on that and it separated, but I got it. I'm now coming back towards the microphone. And I'll go back to Maine. And I'm back. Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. But I got what I needed here. I didn't think I needed this sprue anymore, so I got rid of it. Turns out I did need it. Let's widen this up a bit. Shaky, but turns out I did need that. Because I need this piece here. So there you go. I was like, oh, I don't need this anymore. I was wrong. And then this goes like this. And now I can hold it like a sword, but going like that, and going with that. Oh yeah, I don't need this anymore. Go over there. And now this will go like this. And we've got swords. There we go. Got 2 swords. Now there are more things that we can make into swords. We could have them held out here, or we can take them and we can put them like this, which I think I'll do, because like this is pretty neat. Also, a side skirt that is that actually does something is kind of nice. So we'll put them there. Whoops, and then it fell apart. So we gotta pop that back there. Pop this piece in here. Whoops. What are the? There we go. I was saying nice things about this side skirt, and now it's getting all weird on me. That's not fun. There we go. Okay, so now we have the side skirts on. Now to do the other blades that we need to put on here. Oh yeah, we could have it hold beam sabers. I might, you know what? Yes. Let's take the beam sabers that live on the butt. We'll take those off. This thing's coming apart again. That's really frustrating. That keeps happening. Okay, let's put this on. Put this piece on here. Second hour, we'll talk about some anime that I've been watching, as usual. Got some stuff to talk about in the first hour, of course. I did want to go over, if I could anyway here, we'll talk a bit about the WWE pay-per-view that's happening this Saturday. If there was ever a B-tier pay-per-view for the WWE, or a premium live event, as they like to call it, it would be Backlash. This show is happening on Saturday. I am not going to be watching it live. I might watch it later. I still have Peacock, but I'm certainly not going to take the night off to watch that show. But I figured I could talk about it, run through the card, chat, give my predictions and all that. 5 matches on the card. I do not think they will add a 6th one. I do not think it is particularly a strong card, but it's got some matches on it that could be interesting. What is certainly the main event will be John Cena defending the undisputed WWE Championship against Randy Orton. It is a return. These two feuded for a very long time. I don't know if this is going to be the quality of this particular matchup, but they do know each other pretty damn well. My assumption is that we will have Cena winning with chicanery and shenanigans. That feels like the most obvious way to wrap up this long feud of theirs is shenanigans. Not a clean victory. They are in St. Louis, which is where Randy Orton is billed from. He's from outside St. Louis. So he will have a hometown crowd cheering him on, and then Cena will retain the belt, because it would be very weird if they took the belt off Cena. For the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria will defend the title against Becky Lynch. Becky came back to at WrestleMania as a surprise tag team partner with Lyra. They won the women's tag belts, and then the next, or like 2 nights later, they lost the tag belts, and then Becky turned on Lyra, and now they are fighting each other for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think this would be a huge win for Lyra Valkyria. I don't think that Becky Lynch needs a mid-card title. If she wants to have all of the belts, this is one she'd never had because it didn't exist until pretty recently. I think Becky with that belt is interesting, but I don't think it would be good. So I am hoping that Lyra Valkyria wins, but I am expecting Becky Lynch to win, because it kind of doesn't fucking make sense for Becky to lose that, even though I think it would be way better. Lyra getting the win over Becky would be cool as hell. So again, I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe it should. Maybe it fucking should. So I can take these shoulders to make them into big swords, but I don't care about that, so I'm not going to do it. But there are more effects parts we can put in. I love these wrist blade things. I think these are silly in a way that I could really get behind. These, like, shoulder shields that then pop open to become wrist blades, I think are very fun. I really like them. So we'll do that. And then these go on here. Yeah, we were pretty much done with this kit, but there's still a little bit more to do, you know. Hey, Gunther, former WWE heavyweight champion. He is wrestling on the card, and you're like, oh, cool. Who's he Pat, who's he wrestling? Who's he got going on? Oh, E. What was E? Oh, so I got to make these, and then I can do that. Okay, that's what I got to do. He's wrestling Pat McAfee. And you're like, wait, the announcer, the ESPN guy, the guy who sucks? Yeah. Pat McAfee in what I believe will be his 4th wrestling match will be taking on Gunther. I'm actually going to look that up because I can't remember how many wrestling matches he's had. I think it's only 3. So my guess would be that Pat McAfee is going to lose this match and get the shit beat out of him. But I don't know. Actually, you know what? Honestly, he's had a lot more matches. If we're talking only WWE, because he had 1 match at an indie in 2009. So we only talk about WWE. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be the 7th one. Now, a bunch of those matches are silly things at WrestleMania. Like his match with Happy Corbin, that was like great and fun. His match with The Miz, that went real bad because of injuries and nonsense and silliness. He did lose in a match with quote unquote with Mr. McMahon, Vince McMahon. So that's really dumb after beating Austin Theory for no real reason. But he had a really good match with Adam Cole, and the War Games match was good. And he also was in the Rumble, so I guess that counts. And I don't remember the match he had with The Miz on WrestleMania 39 that much, but I know that went bad. That went south and wasn't good. So I think look, I don't want to call this competitive. It's not going to be a competitive match, but it might be kind of interesting to watch. I don't think it'll be a train wreck because, as I said, Pat McAfee is at least competent to move around. He is still a physical man that can move. I'm not, like I said, I'm not watching this live. I might watch it later. I'm not I kind of can't be asked on that. Jacob Fatu is defending his United States Championship against LA Knight and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. My opinion is that Jacob Fatu will retain. I think it would be a huge mistake to take the belt off of Jacob so soon. I don't know why you would do it. I think that Jacob is a future world champion. And I really hope and pray that WWE thinks that as well. So I would like him to have somewhat of a long run. I feel like LA Knight or Damian Priest could take this pinfall and it'll be fine. I could see Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest just keep attacking each other to try to take each other out, and LA Knight takes the fall. I guess he could pin Drew, but that doesn't really make much sense. But I would like to see Jacob Fatu retain this because he is the real fucking deal and should be winning matches. He should just be winning matches like this. And then Dominic Mysterio is defending the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Penta. I don't love Penta having a loss like this, but I also don't think that Dominic should be dropping that belt. I think that if he loses to Penta, they will boo Penta because there is a feeling within the WWE audience that Dominic is so fun that people are like, I mean, he got a like a standing ovation almost at WrestleMania for winning the title, mainly because people were just like, "Hell yeah!" We didn't think they would do it, but they did. That's awesome. So, all right. So I did one of these, and now I got to do the other one here, which is the same process. We'll just get those done now. So yeah, I feel like no one title is going to change hands. I don't want it to, but I feel like Becky Lynch is going to become the women's Intercontinental Champion, and she will then have a feud with, I don't know, Bayley, because she's the one that hurt Bayley. So Bayley couldn't be in the WrestleMania match or whatever, and we'll get Becky and Bayley again. And people will cheer for Becky Lynch, unfortunately, who will be the heel. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like she's dropping her belt. No way is John Cena losing. I hope Jacob Fatu doesn't lose. And I'd like to see Dominic retain and have a little bit of a run before he then eventually drops the belt to somebody. Maybe Penta. I don't know. Also, if we can get this year Penta and Fenix tagging together, that would be great. I would love that. Would love to see those boys get together and do a tag team. I think the Lucha Bros tag team would just be fun to see. So that feels to me like a way cooler thing than a singles title run for our guy Penta. But I don't know. I also want him to have the title. That'd be cool. Penta looks very good with a title, so would not be opposed to it. All right, so we got these things. We can turn these into swords if we wanted to. We aren't going to. Instead, we're going to use them to make our shoulders things big and silly. And so we also need N5 here. So we're going to take these off, but we'll put them back on. But we got to put big, weird blades on them, because big, weird blades are fun. So I can take this, and I could put this on here, and then put on the thing and make it a sword. I forget what piece goes on there. Oh, yeah. That's right. There is a piece in here that can slide out. I don't know how to do it. Let's see. There it is, yeah. So it does have it, yeah. So you can see the shoulder things can become swords, which is pretty cool. Don't get me wrong, it's pretty fucking cool. But instead of doing that, we can instead just put more effects parts on it. Damn it, get in there. I shouldn't have done this. Now it's not wanting to slide back in. Come on. Come on. Come on. This piece should slide back in. There it is. There it goes. Okay. Jeez, that was annoying. All right. Now we can add in the other effects parts we need to put in to turn these into really effects parts heavy big pieces, which is right over here. And am I missing something? No. Good here. Put those on there. So yeah, that's this pay-per-view. Again, I'm not watching it live, but I am going to watch it probably after the stream on Saturday. When Saturday's stream is done, I'll watch that because AEW Collision is happening right now. Wrapping up, and I'll be watching that later tonight. Normally, I watch the West Coast feed after stream, so I'll instead be watching that after stream tonight. So on Saturday, I'll have something to do after, and I'll probably end up watching the WWE pay-per-view, or premium live event, as it were. Seeing what that is. Because if there's anything that's bullshit, I'll already have heard about it, probably. All right, so we pop that in there, and there you go. Is this fucking overkill as a thing that mounts on the shoulders? You know it is. This is unbelievably overkill. I love it. I love it so much. It's completely unnecessary. Oh, the hand fell off. but we're doing all of the various things that we can do on this kit all at once because that is funny and makes me laugh. So we'll do all of the things. All of the many things that you can do on this kit. We'll do all of it at once. So we need to do the other one here. And we need these pieces. We'll put those together. Let's see here. If you're playing Clair Obscure, the French Expedition 33, if you're playing that game, there is a build that seems apparently completely busted and broken, but apparently it is going to get nerfed. Early in the game, you can get a sword called the Medallum for melee, I should say. And she, let's see, the blade unlocks a stance that deals 200% bonus damage. And if you have a certain magic attack and a bunch of bonuses active, you can just do a plethora of damage and is completely broken. And it's one of those things that, like, so, you know, it kind of a game has to kind of be out in the wild for people to, like, piece that stuff together, because a lot of people are, like, trying to chase the, you know, perfect build, quote unquote. And someone did, like, 2 billion damage. Oh, sorry, 3 billion damage. So yeah, because it's basically just like a lot of stacking modifiers can let you do very dumb stuff. And apparently, on Thursday, today, they were just like, okay, we were just going to be focusing on bug fixes, but we got to fix this. So basically, they're gonna nerf it. They said we hadn't planned to make any balance changes this early, just bug fixes. Unless something clearly stood out. Well, this does. So there you go. It was underwhelming for most of development. So on our pre-release balance, let's see. I want to read the full statement. So apparently this, it's been a bit weird collision. Lots of people who don't usually see on TV. Yeah, I mean, it is live on a Thursday, so maybe they couldn't get some of the people who normally keep Saturdays free. I don't know, but I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know for sure. I mean, some of the people advertised, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense on a show that you don't think is going to do super well ratings wise, because it is on TBS on a night it's not normally, and you're hoping that people know that. It's like then you pull the Dark Order trigger. Let's see. Okay, so. We gave it a big damage boost and clearly overdid it. Ended up overshadowing most other options. We still want you to be able to break the game, and you absolutely still can. But this was making it too easy. The adjustment will include our first full hotfix set going live tomorrow. So tomorrow it is coming out on Steam first and other places. So if you are playing Expedition 33 and you have a wild nonsense build, it looks like that they're going to nerf you. There are still a lot of other busted builds in there, apparently. And yeah, it looks like they're only going to nerf this one thing because it became like the conversation. But that's still fun. Let's see. As I get ready, excuse me, to finish this up, I will end or finish up this kit, I should say, not the stream, the kit. I will say that Mafia 4 is launching in August, and it will cost $50. It'll be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Mafia: The Old Country. Yeah, it's a prequel to Mafia 1, and it will cost $50. It is going to take place in Italy in the 1900s. Made by Hangar 13, and they made Mafia 3, and they remade Mafia before that. And it sounds like it is not an open world game. It is instead a linear action game. So that's interesting and kind of weird. But it's a prequel, and I guess that also might explain the now honestly budget price, because if games are $70 and occasionally $80, then a $50 game is a budget game. Yeah, because it's not a sandbox game, and there's no multiplayer modes or anything like that. And there's a special edition that has some digital stuff and all that. But yeah. That's going to do it for this kit. Obviously not for the stream, for this kit. But yeah, this thing is wild and weird and got a lot going on. We got our beam sabers. We got our other swords that can be guns if we want them to be guns. We've got our side skirt thing that has weird effects. This was a fun build, a fun update on an old build that I like. It's got a lot going on. I forgot about the wrist blades. It's got the wrist blades. I love that. I don't know if you love that, but I love that. I too love a good wrist blade, and also a beam wrist blade is a nice little bit of business. So we'll stand this up. I'm going to take a photo of this, and then we'll move on to our next model kit, which we'll get to in a moment here. But first, I have to take a photo, which I will. Over here, and boom. Photo. Take it. All right, yeah. Good kit. Good build. I'll be putting this aside now. Oh yeah, I could have put in the N7 in there if I wanted to. I don't really want to. It's okay. Right there. Flop that over there. And then we bust out the Zudah. We've got a kit. Now, this is from... Oh, sorry. No, hold on. Whoop, sorry. Whoop. There we go. So, the EMS-10 Zudah is from MS Igloo. MS Igloo has had a limited DVD release, but it started out as a 3 OVA CGI animation from 2004. So 2004 CGI animated thing that is part of the 25th anniversary of Gundam. So the first 2 episodes came out on July 19th, 2004, at the start of stuff at Bandai Museum. And so you could only see it there. And then the third episode came out November 3rd, towards the end of celebrations. And then there was a DVD release in Japan. So when I say that this is one of the most obscure builds I have done on this stream, when I'm saying that, I mean in the case of, so I'm going to narrowcast it down a little bit. We're talking a obscure when it comes to things that have been animated, right? Because I have built model kits that are based on manga, side manga. I have built model kits that have only appeared in photo stories in books about Gundam that are only, Gundam magazine, I should say. There have been model kits that I have built that are based on Gundam magazines. There are kits that I have built that are based on characters in a Gundam arcade game that had very limited release in Japan. So I have built some obscure kit. Oh, I've built 2 model kits that are from a mobile game that never released. It still hasn't released. Will Erd come out? Iron Blooded Orphans Erd, the mobile game that is just still in development, and they made mobile suits for and then delayed the game. And the game may never come out. So I've built very obscure kits, but this is a kit from a animated project that is incredibly obscure. So this is the most obscure kit from an animated project. I did build a mobile suit that is only from a Sega Saturn game, but later that mobile suit did appear in other games. But it originated as a Sega Saturn game because they wanted to have some exclusives for it. Yes, I did build that. You're right. I have built things for small games. Like I said, I still think the arcade game is more obscure than the other, but it's wild. Oh yeah, we got some decals to put on here, which we will. I bet that doesn't look like that. It doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't look as nice. That still looks nice, but that doesn't look like brass. That looks like brass there, and that just looks like orangish yellow. It looks kind of goldish on the camera here. In person, it's a bit more orange. This is a little contrasty there, but yeah. So this is a kit from 2006. So it came out 2 years after. It probably actually came out in 2005, but it's a 2006 model kit for an animated project that came out in 2004. It probably came out around the time of the limited DVD release. But yeah, this is an obscure thing. 3 episodes from MS-Igloo, which I've never seen. But this is the Zudah, which is a prototype mobile suit from Xeon that they made before the 1 Year War. And I think... Okay, yeah, so it's in the 1 Year War, and then it's referenced in Build Fighters. It kind of shows up, so there are references to it, so it's not necessarily super obscure because it does show up in later things, but it's primarily just in Igloo and then the sequel to Igloo. Yeah, so the Zudah does like show up in some of the Build series because people like the design, but this version of it is still pretty obscure. Yes, the backpack does have the thruster. So yeah, this is a very obscure thing. I would understand if people were just like, I don't know what that is. I was attracted to it when I saw it on Amazon because of the price and also because of this whole thing here. Just looks neat, and I love the kind of like Zaku eye, but the different head. I think it looks neat. It does have the Zaku machine gun, and it does have the shield that also has a launcher, which is the propulsion rocket. I love the idea of, well, it has a shield. Yeah, it's a terrible shield, though, because behind the shield is a rocket. So, like, that's just a bad choice. All right. Let's get here. We need we got polycaps. We got old-ass. These are probably 1999 polycaps. Yep, made in 1999. Because they made this thing of polycaps. Came out in black and gray. And they used this till like the late 2000s. Because they just designed kits to work with these polycaps. But this exact thing I've had many times. Either in black or in gray. Is like... There's something... I don't know. I don't want to say like... nostalgia. Yeah, you know what? No, there is something nostalgic about that. About those parts. This is going to be some old-ass plastic. And this shouldn't take too long. We'll do some panel lining on it, of course, but this won't be the longest build of my life. Just be careful here because this is going to be pretty old. Now, could this be a re-release? And maybe this plastic isn't as old as actually 2006. Totally. It totally could be a re-release. This could have come out later. Often the boxes will kind of indicate that they're later. It does not appear to that, but looking at the box. Also, the box is pretty beat up, but that's not related to how old it is. That's probably just related to how it shipped. Ric Flair is going to be on Dynamite. They're doing a tribute to Mongo. Okay. Well, good. I mean, one would hope that it won't be live and that they will do something about Mongo and he will be in conversation about it and it will be a pre-tape and he will not be actually live with a microphone, because even with him being interviewed, that seems like a terrible idea. So hopefully it is a pre-tape, because the man can ramble, especially when he is sad, and people have seen that, and it's not great. But yeah, all right. Sure. That's a context I don't mind. Whatever. You would think they'd learn their lesson about giving him a live mic. Yes. So hopefully they wouldn't give him a live mic, and it would be, he's going to be on Dynamite because he sat down with an interview that day with Tony Schiavone, and it's been edited for time. Here it is. Thanks very much. That's my hope anyway. I don't know, obviously, but that's my hope that they would just, record it ahead of time and not have it be live. But also nice that they're honoring Mongo. That's lovely. He was certainly a part of WCW, which this has no lineage to, but it's Vibes lineage related to WCW, because it's obviously clearly inspired by that. When you look at the people that work there, who they have hired. And also, paying homage to the fact that it's on the same channel that WCW was. All right, so how do these connect here? This goes like, so this goes like this, in, and then twist out like that. I don't think it twists out, it just goes in. Okay. All right. Got to be careful because like I said, I don't feel like any of this is brittle, but I also don't know what I'm doing with it. So sometimes it's good. Thank you for the follow, Super Mega AJ. Appreciate that. Welcome. Happy to have you here. A little bit more gaming news stuff we can talk about while I try to get this piece together here. NCSoft is investing in a new game studio founded by some alums from id and Naughty Dog. They're working on a game called Defect, which I thought, it's either Defect or Defect, and I assume it's Defect, but maybe it's Defect. Empty Vessel is the name of the studio, which sounds like an insult. Not the name of a studio, but okay, sure. The Defect is a cyberpunk tactical shooter. But yeah, this is NCSoft doing some investment, trying to get that game out. So that's cool. We do like hearing that, like hearing about some support in these days where it is harder and harder to get some support. But yeah, hopefully they will get the funds they need to keep going, because smaller teams out there doing things, putting games out. It's always nice when games can come out. So hopefully it will. NCSoft has a North American subsidiary called NC West, which I think is pretty good. They're going to publish the game. They said it's a long-term partnership. That's good. They also own a studio in Poland and a studio in Sweden. They have a couple studios of course, in Korea. And I guess Empty Vessel has been around for a year, but I just did not hear about that. So we got that. Let's see. Maybe good news for, I assume this is good news for Starbreeze. Starbreeze with possibly a win. Another thing has been debraced. Starbreeze has acquired the Payday 3 publishing rights from Paleon, which is a subsidiary of Embracer. The deal enables them to pursue broader strategy opportunities for Payday 3. As of course, you may know, Payday 3 did not hit with the community. The Payday 2 people were not psyched about playing Payday 3. It was kind of a dud. So them getting the publishing back might not have any long-term benefits for them, but, you know, hopefully, or short-term, I should say, but possibly long-term. Good. But yeah, Payday 3 sales decreased dramatically during the last fiscal year. They went from 7 million in 2024, from 44 million in 2023 when it came out, which obviously is a lot of a loss there. They got rid of their CEO at Starbreeze because of this, and got a bunch of stuff going on. They made an agreement with Embracer's subsidiary to assume full publishing responsibility for Payday 3. And that could be good. Who knows? But anything that is not in the control of Embracer is probably good for games and good for a developer to not have their publishing tied up with Embracer. So hopefully that'll work out for them. It's rough out there. We'll put this on here. There we go. Get that on. Looks good. It's light. I love this light purple. That is not a color you see a lot on mobile suits. So I'm excited for to get a little perp on there. You don't see it that often, but I think it looks pretty good. All right, we need A46, which I think is on here. This is A2, but they don't call it A2. They just do A46 and A17. So yeah, I'm looking for like 46, and then it's like, oh, it's not there because it's on this page. And that's a little frustrating. But not to be a tad frustrating. But, you know, again, model kit from 2006. They're still learning, still growing. Let's see. One more bit of gaming news. PlayStation has spun out a new internal studio called Team LFG. Team Let's Fucking Go, which I'm sure they do not want to say that's what that stands for. I'm sure it stands for something else, or it doesn't stand for anything. This is spun out of Bungie, which is, again, it's a weird fucking time for Bungie. It's just a weird time in general for them. But the idea that they keep taking stuff out of Bungie will be like, oh yeah, working on this, and then Sony's just like, well, you're not working on it. I mean, it might get worked on. We might have some people doing some work on it, but like, not you. That's not happening. It's just been kind of weird that's the thing. I think they said looking for group. Yes, and I understand that's old parlance for LFG is looking for group. But also, LFG means let's fucking go. And like, it means that more now, as you don't look for groups much anymore. Also, Herman Hulst said a bunch of fucking shit that doesn't sound like stuff that I'm like, is this business speak that I just never heard before, or are you making up shit? Okay, so it's a hybrid studio. We don't know who's in charge. And it's got people, you know, compromises talent credit on franchises like Destiny, Halo, League of Legends, Fortnite, and Roblox. Fully formed and ready to introduce to the world, and is working on an ambitious incubation project. It originated at Bungie and then has been spun out. Okay, here it is. Here is the term I've never heard before, and it could be I'm just not knee-deep in gaming nonsense and game development nonsense. Okay, they're working on a team-based action game that draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games. I don't know what that one means. I don't know what a frog-type game is. Is it like... It's not Battletoads. Is it like Frogger? Is it that where they're taking it from? Yeah, does it mean like fast-paced reactionary travel? Like I don't know what a frog type game is. We make immersive multiplayer world competitive action games. This is apparently apparently it's gonna be a live service, and that's just it's a live service game. They've spun out a team from Bungie to make a frog type fucking. God damn, they're gonna make another. They're gonna make and cancel another live service game. I'm like laughing my way through this because it's sad and it's very funny and also a big goddamn bummer. But that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna fucking try that again, see how that goes. They'll get it right someday, I guess. I don't fucking know. Okay, I gotta figure out how this works here. So this is gotta go like that. No, okay, so this looks like this. And then this is gonna be like this. And that's that just slides right in. Okay. Yeah, that actually worked out well. Okay. This backpack actually worked out pretty good. Maybe they're making a AAA frog gun. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I don't know what a frog type game is, and I'm gonna look it up. Look up frog type game. Okay, frog-like game from this is Kotaku saying frog type. Reset era in 2023. Apparently, Bungie at some point said their latest project will be a frog type in 2023, which I guess is Marathon. Is that what they're calling? Okay. Is that what they think extraction shooters are? Do they internally call extraction shooters frog types? Because they said after Bungie confirmed their latest project, this is a thread from last year. Like Frog Detective. Okay, so no one's actually saying what the answer is. Team LFG was working on the game back then when they were part of Bungie. Okay, so it's still the same game. So even as of 2023, they were saying Frog. Okay, this thread is not answering the question. That thread is just doing that. All these are going to show up here. I bet nobody actually answered what that is. I'm going to say this. I'm kind of fucking mad that so many articles are showing up of people just saying it and then not saying what the fuck that means. I guess Pace Magazine is making some jokes about it. There's games with frogs. Top game type tag frogs. Yeah, I'm not getting a fucking example of what this fucking means. What is a frog type? Okay, so people at gaming publications, which still exist, they tweeted out a description of the game that's almost exactly the same as it is now. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, 2 years later, they're still making that game, and now they're saying, let's not label it as a Bungie game, now it's a Team LFG game. But Pace doesn't know what that means, apparently. I don't know if it needs to be said, but there isn't really a commonly referred to genre known as frog-type games. Most people will probably think Frogger, but that's a single-player game, not a multiplayer game. Okay, yeah. So so Pace doesn't know. And Rock, Paper, Shotgun was like, oh god, you're making a live service game? And why did you mention frogs? So I appreciate that. Yeah. So, okay. I think a frog type game might mean a game you play with your friends, but I don't know. Because they do have this grandiose statement that we are driven by a mission to create games where players can find friendship, community, and belonging, which is like, yeah, that sounds nice. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. They log on, different teammates already hanging out online, recognize familiar names, and play myths and memes out with each other. We want our players to love remembering that one time they pulled off that play and changed the whole story of the match. As we say on the team, that's the good stuff. Oofta, oofta. All right, yeah, man, I don't fucking know. Okay, so nobody knows what a frog type is. I am now going to have to write into games, to write in to some gaming podcasts and ask, hey, do you know anyone at Bungie? Can you find out what that means? I don't know anyone I do know someone at 343, but that's not Bungie anymore, obviously. I do know someone that works at 343. I know a couple people that work at 343, but I don't know anyone that works at Bungie that I could be like, hey, do you know what the fuck this means? Or I guess, now obviously Team LFG, but I'm sorry that I don't have the answers for you. I wish I did. I genuinely wish that I could answer this question, because it is a question that I also would love the answer to. Someday we'll find it. Someday we'll know. 24 and 22. Someday we'll know what the fuck that means. But unfortunately, right now, I cannot give you an answer. Let's get the part of the rockets here. That piece we don't put on yet, I guess. Must go somewhere else. But yeah, so someday I might know the answer to this. My apologies that is not today. All right, we gotta put this like this. One of these things where the polycap has to kind of go in perfectly. You only get kind of one shot to gotta make sure you do it right, because this has to pop in on here. So I kind of have to have that right. And then this needs to go like this. Okay, so that's good. And then that has some parts that go in there. Is it hobby grade? Lashbrook, I have no idea if it's hobby grade. Hopefully we'll find out soon once we know more about it. To know more about the game that we're doing here. 21 and 26. 21 and 26. We'll get our back thruster on here. We'll do this here. This goes into this. This goes into that. That. And then that pops in here. Yeah. All right. Got our booster that goes on here. There it is. Yeah, that looks silly in a way that I like. I like how that looks. That's some goofy. That's a goofy booster, but it's got a lot of directionality. And then there's like a couple more little tiny pieces on here that are all right here that have to go in there, because it does have a big thruster, and then it has like little tiny thrusters to help it with its balance, which is very funny that they put that much thought into the back of the Zudah. I should also say, I talked about how this is very silly and all that. I didn't mention how it's very fun to say. Zudah is very fun to say. It's just a good name. All right. Okay. So what's going to happen right now is we are going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk to you, the viewer, about ways that you can support me, the person doing this. All the things I'll be talking about here are optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you'd like to, I would love it. I'll get back to working on this model kit. We'll get back to conversation. We'll talk about some anime stuff and all of that. But right now, I do need to do my pause for the cause, my appeal to you to financially support my endeavors. First and foremost, if you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token, because if you have Amazon linked with your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that for anybody. If you want to use that for me, it would be great, and I would appreciate it. You don't have to, of course. You could also gift a sub. You could be like John and gift a sub to the community, because we're currently at 25 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. And with your help, I could someday get back up to 40. And then, of course, you could, if you wanted to, you could use cheer. You could throw some bits at me if you want to do that. Now, that's, of course, this is the easiest way to support me financially, but there are other ways. Like, you could always go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBaer. Over on Patreon, there is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. And I want to draw your attention to the fact that currently my $3, $5, and $10 patrons are voting on what I do next Tuesday, because the second Tuesday of every month is Patreon's choice. So my patrons get to vote on what I do. I give them some options. Currently, those options are Diorama Builder, because we haven't played that in a while, so we can return to Diorama Builder. Nubby's Number Factory, just go back to it because I just really like it. There are going to be some changes to the game, but they haven't come out yet. I just like the game. And of course, the return of Pat Watches Wrestling, because it's been a very long time since I've done that. I have not played or have not watched some wrestling with you, and I do have one thing that that will be an unarchived stream, because a couple things that I am going to show I don't want to keep here on Twitch, and I won't be able to keep on my YouTube. So that'll be an unarchived stream, because I want to show something that WWE would not want me to show you unless I was watching, they want you to go into their YouTube video. But I have one thing that I know is going to make them mad. So we will not tempt fate that way. But if that wins, and I might do it anyway later in the month. But yeah, check that out on my Patreon. Again, $3, $5, and $10 tiers can do that. Over on my YouTube channel, you can of course subscribe for free if you wanted to. If you just want to see some videos that I make and get notifications of when they come out, ring the bell and all that. But if you wanted to, you could go over to my YouTube and become a member. And for just $2 a month, you'll get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get them a little bit ahead of time. So the video that everybody saw yesterday, you could have seen on Tuesday before it even came out. I just noticed my AdSense is up by the end of this year. I should, by the end of this year, be getting a check from Google AdSense, which would be great. I had a video do kind of well. Numbers wise, which is great. Those are all monthly ways to support me financially, but if you would like to support me just once in a while, you could always just drop something in my tip jar if you wanted to. Of course, you don't have to, but you could, through my Ko-Fi or my PayPal directly. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, like I said, which includes AdSense, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits. I bought this kit, the Zudah, the EMS-10 Zudah. I picked this up off my Amazon wish list. That I put it there, and I was like, you know what? This is a good price. This is a weird kit. I want to get this. And so I picked it up. This was voted on by my $10 patrons of something that I should build. If you want to have a say in what I'm working on, you could go to my Amazon wish list and buy something for me to build. It will jump the queue and become the next thing that I work on, because that's the least I could do is make your thing the priority. And then also, I'll make a dedicated video about it and put it on my YouTube channel. I've got model kits and Lego sets. I've got expensive kits. I've got inexpensive kits. Some of those inexpensive kits will eventually become expensive, because they're already probably in the United States, but kits are going to go up in price. That's just unfortunately the reality of the world that we currently exist in. But if you see a model kit on here or a Lego set or just something you think would be really fun to see me build on stream, or maybe a challenge, like if you're just like, I don't know, Pat, build this knockoff Lego set that seems very difficult. You could do that. Or like if you were thinking like, oh, Pat, I'd love to see you do a third jigsaw puzzle because this Spin Master Games made 3 jigsaw puzzles for Magic the Gathering. I want you to get the third one and put together that one there, the Planeswalker one. If you wanted me to do a third jigsaw puzzle in 2025, I could. You could buy that and I'll build it. Or assemble, I guess, in that case. If you want to support me financially and you don't want to go through Amazon, you could always, because it's nice to have other options, you can go to Throne. I have a wish list on Throne. Those are going to be more expensive stuff, but if you want to do that, you can go through Throne. And the most convoluted way to support me financially, which would also be supporting a small business, would be to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card code. They will send you that code via email. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon or Twitter with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And you know, that'll come to me in the mail. Again, the most convoluted way to support me if you want to go through all the steps. If you cannot spend any money, or you're choosing not to spend any money, but you still want to support me, join my Discord. You'll find out about stuff I'm working on. You'll see photos of stuff other people are working on. It is a nice little community of fun folks. So feel free to jump in the old Discord. I have a couple links for you to check out. The most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club is me talking about 5 anime recommendations from this season. This season, the spring 2025 season, has a phenomenal amount of anime, a lot of good second and third seasons of shows, but also a bunch of good new shows, including some originals. And I recommend 5 shows that you should probably watch. So watch that video to find out and get some recommendations. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Every month I have a new theme. This month, the theme is 2000s anime. And I'd like to say that I'm picking some obscure things that maybe you've never heard of, but that's not true. It just so happened that as I thought of 4, okay, one of them I think is pretty obscure. The other 3 are not, including the one I'm recommending in this video. I spend about a minute in this video telling you why you should go back and watch Bleach, the anime Bleach. There's obviously a continuation happening right now, but you can go back to the old show and watch that on Hulu. It's the best place to watch Bleach. But yeah, I mean, like, it's silly. I know it's silly to be like, you should watch one of the best shows of the 2000s, but you should if you haven't. Because, so Ichigo is a anti-hero, loudmouth, delinquent character, a la Yosuke. Very popular at the time. They were going through a phase of anime where a lot of main characters like that were these anti-heroes. Rekka, even though he did believe in, from Rekka was that. Gon from Hunter x Hunter was like kind of he was weird because he was just like didn't care about most people. But also the main character of Bleach, he's also a good boy. He's both. He is the delinquent, but also a guy with a heart of gold. And he shifts between those. And it's really fun. Bleach is just like a phenomenal work that gets up its own ass. And if you like anime with a million fucking characters, Bleach is a show for you as well. And cool powers and cool swords and all kinds of stuff. As it goes, it does have main character syndrome. I'm not going to lie to you. Ichigo is all things to all people, and there are 3 major powers in the universe, and he is all 3 of those powers somehow. And there's some fucking gigantic retcons that happen in there to justify that. I wouldn't call them twists. I would call them retcons. But it's still pretty okay. It's still pretty okay. It's still... Bleach is still fucking Bleach, y'all. It's still pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some other anime here. I'm going to talk about episodes of a couple shows here. I need to update this thing real quick. Hold on. Sorry. Got to update. Didn't update my command in Nightbot, so I would be recommending the wrong shows. So I got to fix that. And I'm fixing that. There we go. So I'm going to talk about some anime that I've been watching, and then we'll talk about games and stuff. But I need to drink some water. I am in need of water, and then we'll go into do some other stuff there. So I would say we got to dramatically transition to the overhead camera. Keep working on a model kit. I got to drink some water. We'll do all of that right now. All right. So while I work on this model kit here, and we're gonna do tiny little boosters here, and then we'll panel on this thing. While I'm doing that, let's talk about another Gundam series, the new Gundam series. GQuuuuuuX is we had episode 5, and episode 5 visually really fun as usual. Some good juxtapositions. The last episode kind of ended on like a ooh shit. All right, well this dude is fucking serious. The new Gundam was from a movie actually. Okay, yes. But yes, thank you Lashbrook for that. I meant NEW. Short for new type. I was talking about the new type Gundam. Ha ha ha. I can also be wrong in a jokey manner. But yes, no, we're not talking about the NU Gundam. We're talking about the new Gundam series. But so yeah, this episode answers the question, what if a couple people from the Black Tri-Stars lived? And the answer is they'd get involved in illegal mobile suit fights. That's the answer. Gaia and Ortega, who are part of the Black Tri-Stars, they want to enter the clan battle because they're making some money. Javier is trying to search for the quirks, but he is warned that his leader has an alternative motive. So now we're getting some intrigue with some of our other characters. He runs into Amate and Nyan and recognizes Amate. Meanwhile, Nyan is getting harassed by a cop. And Amate attacks the cop, so they run. And then Javier grabs Amate to prove that she is the pilot, because that way the Pomeranians will have to forfeit if she doesn't make it. And then so in order to not blow her cover, and also in order to continue to... Oops, did I grab one of the wrong ones here? Wait, no. Why do I feel like one of these rockets is bigger than the others? Right? Yeah, one of these is bigger than the other ones. What the fuck? I'm not crazy, right? Yeah. These are all 20, though. What the fuck? Why is one of these bigger? Huh. That's weird. Unless I dropped one of these. No, I don't know what's going on here. I'm only going to put 3 in, and I'm going to keep that one aside because this doesn't feel right. This feels weird. It's like, what? One of these just feels bigger. It just looks like it's bigger. But I don't know where it could have come from otherwise. B-21 is that, and B-26 is that. And the only other piece... Oh, did that come from here? Okay, so yeah, all right. So that's B-11. That's B-11, which we don't want. I'm missing one of the B-20s. That flew away somewhere. So hopefully I'll come across it. But if not... All right, so that's what happened. I did... It didn't fit right because it was the wrong piece. So I will just... One of these will just be missing here. Although I can't get any of these to fit in right. So while I struggle to get that going, there got one on. Okay. So yeah, hopefully I will find this little one that I don't see anywhere. I was very confused because one of these rockets was just bigger than the others, and that didn't make any sense. So I'll just... It's the back of the kit. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. So Neon decides I am going to pilot instead. And fights, Neon and Suju fight Guy and Ortega, of course, the Black Tri-Stars members. And of course, Neon is having trouble piloting the suit. And Suju is having problems, has a fever, so they're just not in good shape. They maybe shouldn't have accepted this. But Neon unlocks, due to her frustration, her new type abilities. And so then they're able to kill Guy and Ortega, and the battle ends. Amate escapes. And then also, she's kind of fucking weirded out by Neon unlocking abilities because she thought that was her, like a special thing that she had. And that's no longer special. And then she is fucking freaked out to find out that, you know, the mobile suit she rightfully stole and activated has now been used by Neon. So now we've got shenanigans, perhaps. Boy, if you thought this was going to be the redemption arc for the Black Tri-Stars, like the legends of them, it was not. Oh, there it is. Hey, I found it. Hell yeah. I found it. This is the piece. I found it. This was not because they lost to someone just manifesting their abilities at the last possible moment, and also a person that had a fever. So, overall, I'm still enjoying the show. I know some people are a bit disappointed with how it's going. To me, it does feel like it kind of feels a little bit like, what if Gynex was working on a Gundam series, and that is totally reasonable to think. But what if a guy who for many, many years has been thinking about what he'd do if he had a Gundam show, got a Gundam show? That's really what this one feels like to me. It feels like the reality of this. What if a guy who is in later years getting access to a bunch of franchises he has been following and been thinking about for many, many years, and you get this show? It's like, yeah, okay. And also a lot of people on this project have worked on Evangelion and FLCL and Die Busters, because somebody did say they were like, well, it doesn't feel like Evangelion meets Gundam. It feels like FLCL meets Gundam. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel that. But it's like, Anno is co-writer on the show. Surumaki is the director. Anno is mostly doing production support, but has done some writing. And also, some people on this project did work on Gundam, on Gundam Unicorn. So this is not necessarily the beginning. It's still a wild, weird show that I'm into. I'm still enjoying it. it's still a good time. I'm not feeling it the way I was feeling Witcher Mercury, but like I don't love every Gundam show that's ever been out, and I don't expect myself to fall in love with every Gundam show. I didn't really like Requiem for Vengeance because I think I've said this before. Requiem for Vengeance, biggest thing it has going for it is it makes Gundams, it shows you that Gundam pilots are terrifying and Gundams are unbelievably devastating and that people should be terrified of them. But also it does it in Unreal Engine 5, and I think it was a terrible mistake to do that. Lastbrook says, yeah, the movie definitely had me way more interested, and the show is losing me a bit. Yeah, I think and it's also it's a movie, you know? I think the tail end of the show is as the characters get better at piloting and the better pilots start showing up, I could see this show taking off because it's not slow, it's just not hitting super hard, but I could see it ramping up the drama and ramping up the pace, as things go. I could see it suddenly just turning corner for some people. But yeah, I am into it. I'm just not I am not a diehard fan of this Gundam series, and that's okay. I don't have to be. And I'm again getting used to the character, the mech designs in motion, even if in stills, I'm not super into it. Now, on the other hand, a show that I'm very into is Catch Me at the Ballpark. Episode 6, Catch Me at the Ballpark. Reminder, this is a situation comedy about a bunch of people. You like the new Dom design. Yeah, I think it's all right. I don't know. I'm kind of muted on most of the designs, where I think okay, I don't know. But yeah, so Catch Me at the Ballpark is a show about a minor league baseball park in Japan, and the people that go to it and the people that work there is primarily about, generally, I would say, about a dude that goes there to cheer himself up after work, and also Ruriko, who is a Garu, she blonde hair, kind of mean but nice mean, but fun mean, that kind of thing, who is a beer girl. So this episode, the first little story is actually pretty short. It is about Sarah, who is the youngest beer vendor girl. She seems young. And she's out there working hard, and it's just a little fun thing where her best customers are her family, who have come out to support her and kind of baby her, and she doesn't like that, but she also likes the support. And then it's just cute and nice, and it's a fun little story that I was like, oh, that was good. That was a good little bit of business. One of the major stories of this episode, because it's it's ABC stories. The B story is that a bunch of staff members have to start do a major clean because the changing rooms and waiting rooms are filled up with just random detritus and clutter and left stuff. So they do a big cleaning. And while they're cleaning, they run into, of course, the old security guard recognizes a lot of stuff, old stuff and keepsakes from the ballpark, like old promotional items and things like that. And they find a picture of the oldest beer girl, Kohinata, when she first started working the ballpark, and because she's definitely old, when she was young and worked at the ballpark, she was a Gyaru as well. She was a tanned, blonde-haired, tough girl. And that was a fun discovery of this, of her past, and people just being I don't know, that was a fun bit of business. This is cool. This is, again, showing a bunch of the minor characters we don't see that often, but also that, oh, yeah, okay, other people have been that. Gyaru beer girl, kind of popular. And then, apparently, the minor league all-star game is happening at this ballpark. So all people from all over Japan are coming, um, and so it's a weird thing where it's an all-star game, but because the stadium is the home team, they're all technically the Motor Sons, and their rival team, their actual rival becomes the other team, which is the Sticks, and so they're competing against each other, and then they have this scripted fight between the Sunshiro, the mascot that is my favorite character in the show, and their mascot, the Sticks mascot, Kaiser. Um, so in the scripted part, the mascot falls, and everyone's cheering for him to get up, and Ruriko gets into it. She doesn't know it's scripted, so she's really telling him, like, get up, you can do it, you can do it. And then also, our mascot remembers that the Sticks fans have been insulting the Motor Sons fans, and so Sunshiro goes off script and starts fighting for real. And the Motor Sons are fucking psyched about that. They don't know that they probably knew it was scripted, but they don't know. So it just goes off script, and then everyone gets really psyched, and he just like clobbers the other mascot. And then Sunshiro gets scolded at the end of the episode for going off script and making it too real. Again, Sunshiro is my favorite character, the mascot that knows everybody and speaks English with the American that's there playing baseball and knows the names of every employee and has like inside jokes with people. I love that mascot, the king of the football baseball field. I find that to be such a fun bit of business and a good gimmick. So yeah, catch me at the ballpark when the story isn't about how the main character is flirting and maybe wants to be in a relationship with the drone at work who comes to the ballpark to feel better and to occasionally flirt with the girl that he is spending money by giving money for beer on, and we're not in that part of the relationship. When it's not that, and it's just a bunch of other people working at the park doing stuff, I think it's a phenomenally fun anime that I really like. And I will say, it's not the prettiest looking anime out there, but there's a lot of anime out there right now that looks way fucking worse. Because it's not trying to do action, it's occasionally showing you baseball players hit a ball. And then, like I said, there was a fight in this episode, but like even that wasn't like they didn't go super hardcore on it. One thing I will point out that they give me 3 fucking stickers here, that are identical, but I think one of them is for the eye, and the other ones I think, yeah, the other stickers are well, that's not true. There are a lot of decals. Water slide decals that I gotta do later. But there's only 3 stickers here. They're all identical, but they I think I do have to use them on the arms. Yeah. Oh no, they're on the gun. One of them goes on the gun. Okay. So I need to figure out which symbol is here, and it's small, so I'm going to use this to read that. Okay. So I need flat top line. It's this one. It's the biggest one. It's this one here. Okay. These are not numbered. That is a thing that happened in later model kits. Usually around 2013, 2014, 2012. They started switching over to numbering stickers in a way that I can read. So I had to use the symbol on this one. But yeah, I know one of these is for the gun. And I don't know what the third sticker is used for. We'll find out later. This kit, it's for the other gun, because there's a sniper rifle as well. There's a sniper rifle on as well. One thing that this kit is doing that happened a lot in the mid-2000s is that I'm going to build both arms. I'm going to build both arms, and then I'm going to build the guns. Often you build the guns at the end. After you've built the kit, then you build the accessories. This is going to be like, no, build both arms. Now build both guns. And then let's work on the legs. And that's just weird to me. I don't know why they do that, but they do. But I've always found that pretty weird. All right, let's get the head out here. Now is the part of the stream. We have some time left on the stream here. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about the things that you're into and invested in. So you can write that in the chat. I'd love to hear it. I will tell you, my friends, that I have been pretty dang invested right now in a little thing called Pokemon Heart Gold. The randomizer run that I did on Tuesday. I did so much prep for that. If you missed the stream, we found out that I was so over leveled, which was good because I didn't run any problems, except because I beat 2 gym leaders. But unfortunately, I couldn't catch any Pokemon because all of my Pokemon were too high level to catch anything. I didn't have a move that wouldn't just wipe them out. So we only have 5. We have 5 Gundam. We have 5 Pokemon and we have an egg. So hopefully I'll hatch that egg. But I don't have to do any grinding as we get into that. We are at that point going into a forest so that we can find a Pokemon we need to find, which will then get us our first HM, because we don't have any HMs yet. So we got to get cut. I am having a good time with it. It is still a silly good time. I like doing the randomizer runs. I will probably... There was a big gap between the first and the second episode of it. I'll probably do the second episode or the third episode next month. I like to think that I'll do it every other month, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't have anything on my plate. I don't think I'm going to stream Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtle Tactics game. I'm going to play it, but I don't think I'm going to stream it. I did stream it a bit as a demo. Oh, that's right. I am going to do a demo day this month. I don't know what day I'm going to do it, but I am going to do another demo thing. I'm just going to find a bunch of stuff that has demos that seems interesting to me and do that. But I don't have immediate plans for when that's going to be. But one of these weeks, I will do a stream of demos because it's been a hot minute. So I'll do that, but I don't know. I don't know when that's going to be. I just know that is going to happen. Let's see. What else can I tell you about me? What else? While I give y'all time to write things in the chat, if you want to write things in the chat, I will say that yeah, I am. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone. I have a standard deck that is a good nonsense deck that like either wins me games really quickly or is a fucking nightmare, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I still playing this like this? We have an either or, folks. We got 2 different heads we can put on, so we'll take a look at this to figure that out. Or it looks like we have several options here of how to have this head look, because it's one of them kits that lets you do that. So we'll take a look here and see what we're thinking. Kind of decide together here. I think I want to go with. I know which one I want to go with, but we'll see. And then we have A13. Yeah, so I'm playing a lot of Hearthstone. Still enjoying my time with Hearthstone. This current meta, I have found some stuff I like. I have this warrior deck that draws big dragons that do big damage, cheats out big dragons, and then brings those dragons back to life to do even more damage, or copies those dragons and then into eggs, and then pops the eggs, bringing those dragons back. All right, so one of the options we have is just this. It's just a line through the head here. It is what is in the photo. If I bring the photo up to a bigger size, It's that there. Oh no, actually, that's a slightly different one. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, no, it's just a little line here. This is the one we're probably going to go with, which is fun. Then there's one that has this weird like antenna on the face. Goes like that. And then this clips over. I don't love this. It just seems weird. I'm not a big fan of that. And then there's like the split the difference that does have it, but it's not as pronounced, which I think maybe is actually the one that I want to go with, and is the one in the photo. It's got the kind of dividing line, but it's not going fully over like a Zaku. Yeah. Yeah, all right. I think this is the one. I've talked myself into it. This is the... We'll put that down. Then I've got to get this on. Yeah, all right. I like this. It's got the little thing in the head there. It's got some weird dimension to it. I think this is the one from the photo. We'll go with that. So these are extra that we don't need. We'll keep them in case I change my mind, but I think I'll do that. And that's the head. So now I just need to panel on the head. But yeah, I like, yeah, like I said, I like my new Hearthstone deck. I'm playing that. We got into this week, my multiplayer crew, we played more Marvel Rivals, which was fun. Yeah, I am not, I did not participate in the strike, the healer strike, even though I do play healer classes quite a bit. That happened when I wasn't, hey, I'll say this. I did participate in the strike in that I wasn't playing the game while healers were on strike, where a certain number of healers were on strike, but that was unfortunately coincidental. But yeah, I'm in there playing, having a good time with my friends in there. And yesterday I did have some time in the early evening. I did get in and play a little bit of which was very fun. I played a little bit of some one-shot Fiasco, the collective, the adventuring collective that I'm a part of. I got a session in. I happened to be looking at Discord where people were looking for a 5th member. And I said, yes, I'm available. And they're like, great, we're doing this 1 hour thing. It's going to be Fiasco. It's a one-shot. And I was like, so we have characters assigned. And I was like, great, let me in on this. And I got in on it. And you know what? It was a really good time. I had a lovely time doing that because it has been a while since I got in on some role-playing silliness. And the crew was good. I didn't know a couple of them because we've had some new people join the collective. But the people I did know was really fun. And you know, like, are people I know, and then, like I said, some new people. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Lord Crashington says, I played some of that new indie game, Despelate, that is pretty cool so far. Despelate? I don't know how to pronounce that, but okay. I have not heard of that. I'm glad you're having a good time with the game. I hope you continue to have fun with it. A29. Don't have them there. Okay. And then Lashbrook says, turns out one massively modded 2000s RPG wasn't enough for me, so now I've installed and modded KOTOR 2 to play along AMCA. Okay. A more civilized age. Only done the tutorial prologue so far. Been watching Andor Season 2, and honestly, there's one storyline in it that sucks so bad it's dragging down the enjoyment of the rest of it. And of course, since I'm a real Star Wars pilled right now, I've been playing a bit of Fortnite because I think getting Palpatine in it is funny. Yes, having Star Wars characters in Fortnite is funny and good. That is a good bit of bullshit. I am of the opinion that's good dumb, not bad dumb. I know some people think it's bad dumb, but I think it's good. I think that's good goofs and good silliness and a good time. Let's see. Is there anything else that I'm... Yeah, like I said, I I haven't been playing a lot of different things. I certainly haven't been playing any new things. I've been playing more Nubby's Number Factory. I'm still enjoying Nubby's Number Factory. There is going to be some quality of life improvements to that game, which I am looking forward to. I think that'll be nice to have some of those things. That's patch. The creator of the game is kind of taking it easy because getting that game out the door was apparently kind of fraught for the developer. So he has gotten that out and now can kind of relax a little bit. Oops, I've missed out on a peg here. I need B9. But I'm still enjoying that game quite a bit. Number go up. Sometimes I get a run and it's just like I'm breezing through it and having a great time and feeling unstoppable. And sometimes I have a run that just dissolves like instantaneously and makes me feel very bad. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how that happened there, but I'm still enjoying it. I know that apparently the creator of that game is going to be at PAX, not to demo, but just to be there, and is going to be cosplaying as the original Supervisor Tony, so people can go and see that, which does make me think that that's just that guy, that the person that made that game is just, that's his face. And so when he says I'm cosplaying as Tony, I think he's just going to be there as Tony. That is my fan theory. That dude just used his own face for the game. Maybe not. Because I also don't know what cosplaying as Tony is. What that would actually mean. I think that means wearing sunglasses. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else has anything they'd like to share in chat. Feel free. If you don't want to, of course you don't have to, but if you do, you could. All right, I need the letter PCI. I need PCI right here. That's right there. I got it. Working on the arm right now. We didn't have much trouble with the chest or the head. We had a little bit of choices to make with the head. But I wouldn't call that difficult choices. Just choices. And we'll get that on there. This weekend, I'm going to watch a bunch of wrestling, as is my want and as is customary. I'm checking out a bunch of wrestling. Mother's Day in America is this Monday. If you have not gotten something for Mother's Day, you might want to do that. If that's something you're thinking of doing here. Reminder: I do have to wrap presents. That is a thing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Is wrapping up my Mother's Day gift, and then also it's my dad's birthday on Monday, so I'm going to go out to dinner. Stream will happen as always because my folks like to eat early, so I will have no problems. I will make sure that I have watched the anime that I need to watch for Monday ahead of time, and I will make sure that I am back in time for the stream that Monday. No sweat, because we'll probably go to dinner at like fucking 5, so shouldn't be a problem. Couple hours, get back here. I might be a little rushed, but I won't miss the stream or anything. I won't start late. But yeah, we'll celebrate my dad's birthday on Monday. I got him a cookbook. There's a show that he really likes, and there's a cookbook from that show, and so I got him that, which he will really like, but also will pretend he doesn't like for a while and not use it, and then one day he will pick it up and use it and be really psyched about it, because that's just who he is, and I have come to understand it. If you want to know, says Lord Crashington, Despelote is a slice of life soccer adventure game about being a kid in Ecuador in 2001 as their national soccer team made the World Cup tournament in improbable fashion. The art style is rad. All right, now I know that I have at least heard about that game. I have heard of that particular video game. That does sound pretty fucking cool. I'm glad you're enjoying it. But yes, I think I had like heard about it, but not the name of it. But I heard like content of it, if that makes any sense. I was like aware that it existed. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's cool. I gotta see. Like I said, I'm gonna play the Ninja Turtles game when that comes out. But I'm not planning on streaming that because I did stream it. I streamed the demo of it, and I'm not really good. I wasn't really good at it, the old turn-based nonsense. So I probably won't stream that game once I get it. At the very least, I'm gonna play it and see what's going on in the story and hang out with some turtles and bang my head against the wall. But I'm not particularly great at the tactics stuff, those kind of tactics games, those turn-based tactics. They've never been a thing that I'm particularly confident in. So I think maybe that one demo was enough. You definitely seen the showcase. It's a handful over the past few years. Yes, like I said, Lord Crash, I'm like aware of it. I just didn't know what the name of it was. But I am whoa, we just got a huge fucking raid from Puppet Jared. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Hi. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. I'm happy you're all here. We are working on a model kit from the year 2006 called the EMS-10 Zudah, which has a great name. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Davidson says, I just finished building a cup noodle model kit. I've built that kit. That cup noodle kit is all right. Some of the stickers were a little annoying, I remember, but like, yeah, that's a good time. The Zudah is originally from Igloo, which is a 3-part OVA that aired only in the Namco Museum. And then eventually it had a DVD release. But legitimately, for a while, if you wanted to watch this 3-part OVA from 2004, you had to go to the the Bandai Museum, not the Namco Museum, the Bandai Museum. You had to go to the Bandai Museum to watch it in Japan because it was part of the 25th anniversary of Gundam at the time, which is now way older, which is just a wild thing. What's GQuuuuuX, my dude? Not much. I'm happy y'all are here. We do talk about cartoons and nonsense over here. I build model kits and Lego sets. This year, I have built 2 jigsaw puzzles. I built 2 different, or assembled, I guess I should say, not built. I assembled 2 different 500-piece jigsaw puzzles that were Magic the Gathering cards. I went from doing 0 on stream to 2. So that was a weird thing. But most of the time I build model kits. And we talk about anime and wrestling and video games and what have you. So hit the follow button if you're looking for another streamer to come see. I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But on Tuesday, we do video games or watch wrestling or do tier maker lists. But Monday, Thursday, and Saturday is building day. Those are the building streams. But I like doing other stuff on occasion because it's fun to do other things. And then I also realized if I want to stream 4 times a week, I have to do something that's not model kits on one of those days because I'll just run out of model kits and Lego sets. A gunpla is like if a jigsaw puzzle was a weapon of war. Yes, very cool and also a nightmare thing. We were just talking about, or a little while ago, I was mentioning how I don't think that Gundam Requiem for Vengeance is very good. That is a short series that aired on Netflix, a Gundam series that aired between the current Gundam series and Witcher Mercury. There's one there. And yeah, so I think the big thing I don't like about it is that it was made in Unreal Engine 5. And I don't think that was I think that's an interesting idea. Let's make a Gundam series in Unreal. But I don't think it turned out good. But the thing I like about it, which kind of went to Vasty the Red's point, is that series is about how terrifying Gundams are. How, like, if you are on the opposite side of that, you are terrified of new type pilots and Gundams, and they are the scariest thing in the universe. And that's a thing that not every Gundam series gets into, especially the ones, the fairly recent ones that are about like builders, the build fighters and build divers, the ones that are about like how model kits are cool, which they are. working on one right now. They're very cool. But an element of the Gundam series is just that, like, yeah, these things shouldn't exist. And the idea that we got to see people just being like, the Gundam EX is almost like a horror villain in some ways, a slasher horror villain. It's almost Jason in that. And I think that's fucking compelling and very cool. That it's just like, fuck, a Gundam's here. We're all dead. Like, that's a thing that I'm like, I like that. Even if I didn't enjoy the miniseries that much. I think that element was very good because we don't often see a Gundam series from the perspective of the other side. We get episodes like that, but we don't usually get the whole series that is from the other side because they're the bad guys, quote unquote. But then they are. But like, yeah. Yes, especially when it's a teenager. When a teenager with a psychic teenager that has, because they were born in space, they have a connection to the universe or something, and can communicate mentally with a machine, or maybe they're using something that, depending on the series, we'll refer to it as a psycho frame or something, that they can then communicate and kill real good. But that's usually the main character of the show, so they're right and the other side is wrong. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's more nuance we could be having here. When Gundam series, when the plot of a Gundam series isn't, these shouldn't have been made. I'm often like, even G-Witch. G-Witch is mostly just, G-Witch's big thing is, hey, corporations are kind of like governments. That's not good. It's like, yeah, that isn't good. But it does seem to stray a little bit. So I apologize to all the raiders that came in that I am going to also go on a raid, but we have reached the end of the stream. I do have a bit of a hard out here. Your only complaint was the dub was really bad. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Lashrock. So I do apologize that I am going to have you come in and then I'm going to run and I'm going to take this party to another location. But I do have a hard out at 11, so we do need to wrap things up, and I apologize for that. But again, I'll be back on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you'd like to see this kit get another arm and maybe some legs, we'll get that going because that'll be important to do. And we'll talk about other anime that's out this season and other things that are coming up. Maybe I'll hear some stuff that's happened at PAX that we can talk about because PAX East is happening right now. We are going to go and hang out with my friend Matt. Matt Wiggins is currently playing the video game you may have heard of called Legends of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Matt picks a video game and then just plays it on every stream until he finishes the game. He doesn't jump around between games. He just picks a game and then plays through it when he's streaming, which I appreciate. I applaud that. So we're going to go hang out with Matt. He's great. You'll have a good time there. Hope you come along on this raid. I hope you stick around and come see it again. Thanks again for hanging out, for giving me a shot if you came in on the raid. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.